In this video, I'm going to show you the secret ingredient I use to make this quick and easy banana pudding. And starting off in a small bowl, we're going to add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. Now, all sweetened condensed milk isn't equal. I recommend using Eagle brand. If you're in Texas, the H-E-B store brand also works. And next, we're going to add whipped cream cheese. I see a lot of y'all out there struggling with that block cream cheese. Let's not make life more difficult than it already is. Just use the whipped cream cheese, and we're just going to stir it all together until it's well combined with the sweetened condensed milk, and that's exactly how it should look once it's well combined. Now this is very important. You must use instant pudding, not the cook and serve pudding. There's this woman on TikTok who swears she was throwing down using the cook and serve pudding, and she ended up with banana soup. She alley-ooped both of those trays into the trash can because she said those folks at that function were not going to talk about her. So don't be like her and use instant pudding. So what I just added to the bowl is 4 cups of milk, or 32 ounces of milk, and I used 3.4 ounces of instant vanilla pudding and instant banana cream pudding. And I'm giving everything a good stir until it's well combined. It should look exactly like what you see on the screen now. So now I'm going to add my spices. I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm going to stir in those spices until they're well combined as well. And once that's done, we're going to move on to the next step, which is cutting up our bananas. So we're going to set that bowl aside, and then we're going to bring over the mat to cut up our bananas. So for this recipe, I'm using 4 medium ripe bananas. I don't know if it's the time of year or what, but I went to Kroger and all they had were the green bananas. Can't do anything with green bananas for banana pudding. We need ripe bananas, so I had to go to a whole nother grocery store to get the ripe bananas. We finally found them. My guess would be because we're in the fall, peak production is normally in the spring and summer. That could be it. But in any event, I just sliced up those bananas, and I'm going to set them aside, and I'm going to place them in a bowl while I set them aside. So we're just going to ease those bananas into this small bowl that I have. And once we get them all in there, we're going to move them over. And now we're going to move on to the really fun part, which is layering our banana pudding. So I have the bowl where I'm going to layer my banana pudding in. And we're going to start off by layering the bottom with the Lorna Doone cookies, just as you see on the screen. And then we're going to start with our next layer, which is using half of the bananas that are in the bowl that we placed them in earlier. And once we finish adding about half of those bananas onto this layer, we're going to move on to the next layer. And that layer is our pudding. So I'm going to grab the bowl with the pudding and ease about half of that pudding into the bowl for this layer. And once we get about half of that pudding in there, what I'm going to do is use that plastic spatula that you see to spread it all out until it forms an even layer. And once I finish with that, I'm going to use some additional Lorna Doone cookies to form a moat around the layer of pudding that you see. And once we finish with that, we're going to move on to our final layer, which is adding our Cool Whip on top of the pudding. Now, if you're an overachiever and you want to use homemade whipped cream, by all means do so, but that defeats the purpose of this being a quick and easy recipe, which is why I'm using Cool Whip. And I'm going to do the same in this layer. I'm going to spread around the Cool Whip until it forms an even layer with the plastic spatula. And then after that, we're just repeating the same steps until all of the pudding, bananas, and Cool Whip are gone. So once I finish repeating those steps, I like for my pudding to look pretty, so I'm going to decorate it a little bit. So I'm going to place some of those remaining Lorna Doone cookies into this Ziploc bag that I have. And once I get all of those cookies in there, I'm going to seal up the bag, and we're going to crush those cookies inside the bag. Now, could you use a food processor for this? Yes, but I prefer to use a wooden mallet. For one reason, you give your hand a workout, and for two, it's just more fun. But by all means, if you want to make a bigger mess for yourself and have to clean up additional stuff using the food processor, be my guest. So I just finished crushing those cookies, and what I'm doing now is I'm sprinkling those cookie crumbs on top of the pudding. And I'm going to sprinkle all those crumbs until it's well coated, as you see on the screen, and that's how it should look once you get to sprinkle those crumbs on top. So now what I'm going to do is cover the pudding, and I like to chill it in the refrigerator overnight. It's not required, but it is recommended because that will allow time for the cookies to soften inside the pudding. So I've chilled it for overnight. I just took it out of the refrigerator, and at this point it is ready to serve. And you can enjoy this pudding as long as you keep it in the refrigerator for up to 5 days. After 5 days, I would recommend disposing of it because it may no longer be safe to eat. And there you have it. It is ready to serve. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see more of these recipes, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.